Okay, we are back. Good morning again. It's Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. We are back with breaking news. The National Association of Realtors now faces competition from a new association launched by, let's bring up the story here from the New York Times. Jason Haber and Mauricio Umansky. You probably have heard of Jason Haber. He is the founder of the NAR Accountability Project, and he's been very active relative to the sexual harassment claims that occurred allegedly against former NAR president Kenny Parcell. And you might also be aware of Mr. Umansky. I am probably actually less aware of Mr. Umansky. He's a reality TV star. He's been on any number of reality TV shows. He's married to Kyle Richards, who apparently is also another reality TV. But more importantly, he founded the agency in Los Angeles, real estate agency, obviously, and he previously sued the National Association of Realtors in 2020 relative to a fairly notable listings database complaint that he had in 2020. So this new agency, or this new association, I should say, is going to be called, there they are there on stairs, is a New York Times article. Let me bring that up for you there. This is the photo from the New York Times. Written by Deborah Kamen. She's been writing the real estate desk for a while over there at the Times. Two prominent real estate agents have started a new trade association in a direct swipe at the embattled National Association of Realtors. So they own the trademark, obviously, Realtor. But in recent years, the organization has been saddled with a barrage of antitrust lawsuits, sexual harassment allegations, as we know. And, of course, Jason Haber, we already covered him. The new name of the organization, let's see if we can bring up their website. Here it is here, is the American Real Estate Association. The American Real Estate Association, advocating, innovating, and educating. Isn't it your time? You traded up. Connect with us. And this is a fairly simple one-page website. You can enter in your information, and they'll get back to you later. They're promising access to the MLS through the National Listing Service, which is apparently some type of service connected with Mr. Umansky through his prior experience having sued the National Association previously. Apparently, you get 6 months free if you sign up by July 31st. Not sponsored, but there's not a lot of listings there now, but apparently you can get the account with the National MLS if you sign up with this brand new association. Let's bring up the article. They have some more details here. Scrolling down, there's a list of things that have been wrong at the National Association, as you know. And Mr. Umansky, from buying Beverly Hills, Dancing with the Stars, Real Housewives. So their pair is currently separated, apparently. The two agents plan to start their group at a later date, but moved the clock up as they looked at NAR's legal troubles and leadership drain. The group's new president abruptly stepped down in January, as we know. More background. Umansky said that area will offer its members a nationwide database of home listings as an alternative built from the technology he acquired from his own private listing service. The platform, which they're now calling National Listing Service, is currently live with limited listings. It's a centralized database with the full scope of listings across the country, is better for everyone in the industry. Someone just had to do it, Umansky said. Let's see. Mr. Haber added that the area will not have a president and vice president. He emphasized, rather than seeking to replace the 100-year-old association, his goal was to offer something new. He told the New York Times NAR was too big to fail until it failed. People want something different. We're setting ourselves up for failure if we try to replicate the NAR model. That's a pretty wise observation. And let's see. They also added that both they have a significant amount of details to be ironed out. They're currently funding the organization, but hope to raise between $50 to $100 million from private investors. and they plan to charge agents somewhere between $400 to $500, which is about half of what agents paid in NAR. So one big missing piece here of this puzzle is not only the two compelling reasons to join the National Association, as far as I'm concerned, is one is the access to the MLS if you live in an area that you must be an MLS member. So they seem to have solved that problem by, or at least they're attempting to solve it by giving access to this national MLS situation. The other compelling reason to join the MLS is the forms. So here in Massachusetts, fortunately, we have a broker-owned MLS, and I own my own forms. So as you know, I haven't been a realtor for, 4 or 5 years? I can't remember. About 4 or 5 years, because I now own my own forms. But I don't see in this New York Times article where they've solved the form problem, because a lot of agencies depend upon those forms to mitigate their liability. They know if they're using the realtor forms that they've been vetted, and those forms theoretically could keep you out of trouble, especially when it comes to fair housing. Except now some of those forms are actually the subject of some of these antitrust lawsuits because they construct the commission in such a way that might be violation of antitrust law. So, but still, there's plenty of forms that do not deal with antitrust law. And it would seem to me that if they really want to solve this problem or come up with a really viable competitor, they're going to have to solve not only the MLS problem, but also the forms problem, both of those problems. Fortunately for my agents and my agency, we have our own forms that are Massachusetts specific. And the problem with this, of course, is that so many states, you basically need a new set of forms in every state because every state law is different. All right, so let's see if we have any comments. Just going to check over here. I know not many of us, you expected me to go live this again this morning, but here we are with breaking news about the new association. So I wanted to also bring up, let's see here. Mr. Haber's profile over here at Compass. He is at Compass, and a little bit of a background about him. He founded a Rubicon Property in 2014, but it was in 2010, and then it's since purchased by Warburg in 2014. So he's, founded some companies, been successful in this real estate industry. And of course, we went over Mr. Mauricio's background. So it'll remain to be seen whether or not this can be a viable alternative. They're announcing this through the New York Times today because they plan to announce this at Inman Connect in New York, which is actually going on as we speak. And if you go over to Inman, you'll find that they have not yet posted the news of this yet. Over at Inman, they're still just pumping out their live updates from Inman, New York. I wonder what we see when we get here. They're just pumping up their events that are already existing. They do have a blurb about it here. The agency is calling their new organization. Yeah, so they do have a little blurb of it here. Details remain sparse. And they are basically recapping the article from the New York Times. So all credit to Deborah. What's her name? Deborah Kamen, I think her name is, over at the New York Times for breaking this story. And best of luck to Mr. Umansky and Mr. Haber. All right, I'm Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. We'll keep you posted. Have a great day. Go make some money. Go get out there. Make some money. Bye-bye.